This is an asteroid alert. Massachusetts Institute of Technology researchers create a device to simulate asteroid scenarios. We know that it's a matter of time before we have another type of a closed shave or an impact. There are many times when Earth has been hit by asteroids or even comets. We have scars on Earth to show that. Now, asteroids will inevitably end drifting into a collision course with our Earth, hopefully not in any foreseen future, but a team of scientists at MIT now created a computer to help plan for the next time this type of an event, a catastrophic event, could be coming towards us. So it's important for humankind, for mankind, with our advanced technology and our knowledge of what has happened so far in the past, as far as Earth impact and extinction events, for example, that we mitigate this, that we somehow can protect Earth from such an event with whatever means we have available to us today. Now, on April 13th, 2029, an icy chunk of space rock larger than the Eiffel Tower will come barreling past our Earth at around 67,000 miles per hour, grazing our planet's sphere at the level of the geostationary satellites. That's pretty close. That is pretty close. Now, this will be the closest approach by one of the largest asteroids crossing Earth's orbit in the next 10 years. And observations of this asteroid, the Apophis asteroid, is named after the Egyptian god of chaos. Actually not Egyptian, but it's a Greek name, Apophis. Once suggested that its 2029 flyby would take it through a gravitational keyhole. It's a location in Earth's gravity field that would tug the asteroid's trajectory such that it's on its next flyby in the year 2036, it would likely make a devastating impact on our Earth. Okay, so the thing is, what are you going to do to try and stop it from going through that keyhole? That's bad news, obviously. Now, more recent observations fortunately confirm the asteroid will safely sling by Earth without incident both 2029 and 2036. However, most scientists believe it's never too early to consider ways for deflecting asteroids if one were ever to come crashing towards Earth. So now MIT researchers have created a computer program for such an event, for deciding which types of missions would be the most successful to deflect an incoming asteroid. Now, that's assuming that they know what the material is made out of. Now, the scientist's decision method takes into account the asteroid's mass, the momentum, its proximity to a gravitational keyhole, the amount of warning time scientists have before an impending Earth impact. All three factors have degrees of uncertainties, and researchers are also factoring into the identify the most successful mission for a given asteroid. Researchers applied their methods to Apophis and asteroid Bennu, another near-Earth asteroid which is the target of Osiris-Rex. They're trying to get a piece of that to see what it's made of in order to see how they can mitigate that one. Of course, their Osiris-Rex can't find its the surprise that they've had is that Bennu is so jagged and rugged that the Osiris-Rex can't land on it to get find a good landing spot to pick up a little bit of the sample of Bennu to bring it back to Earth to see how our scientists can mitigate Bennu. So hopefully we'll try and find a flat enough area to get a sample of that. Now, an operational NASA mission planning to return the sample of Bennu surface material to Earth will be in 2023. Rexus is an instrument designed to build and built by the students of MIT. It's also part of this mission. It has a task to characterize the abundance of chemical elements on the surface, and researchers use their decision map to lay out types of missions that would likely have the most success in deflecting Apophis and Bennu. And they have various scenarios in which the asteroids may be headed towards a gravitational keyhole. They say the method could be used to design the optimal mission configuration and campaign to deflect a potentially hazardous near-Earth asteroid. Dr. Sung Wook Peek, author study, said people have mostly considered strategies of last-minute deflection when the asteroid has already passed through a keyhole and is heading towards collision with Earth. And he says, I'm interested in preventing keyhole passage well before Earth impact. It's like a preemptive strike with less of a mess. NASA concluded in 2007 a report submitted to the US Congress that in the event that an asteroid were heading towards Earth, the most effective way to deflect it would be to launch a nuclear bomb into space. That is, of course, to blow it up and get rid of it, obviously. Now, the force of its detonation would blast the asteroid away, though the planet would then have to contend with nuclear fallout coming back towards Earth. That's not a good thing. Now, the use of nuclear weapons to mitigate asteroid impacts remains a controversial subject in the planetary defense community. And the second best option was to send up a kinetic impactor, that is, a spacecraft or a rocket of some kind of a projectile aimed at the asteroid, at the space rock, with adequate speed and force to collide with it and get it out of its trajectory, to veer it off its course. Dr. Peek added, the basic physics principle is sort of like playing billiards. For any kinetic impactor to be successful, De Week, the professor of aeronautics and astronomics engineering systems, says the properties of the asteroid, such as its mass, momentum, trajectory, surface composition, must be known as precisely as possible. And in designing the deflecting mission, scientists consequently take uncertainty into account. Professor De Weck said it doesn't matter if the probability of success of the mission is 99.9% or only 90%. When it comes to deflecting a potential planet killer, you bet it does. Therefore, we have to be smarter when we design missions, he says, as a function of the level of uncertainty. No one has looked at the problem this way before. And Peek and his colleagues developed simulation codes to identify types of asteroid deflection missions that would have the best possibility of success given an asteroid set of uncertain properties, and depending on how many years we have here before the asteroid comes that close to our Earth, researchers propose sending scout missions to analyze the asteroid's composition, as we're doing now with the Sirius-REx and Bennu. But again, we said that scout mission, to get the piece of sample back, it has to find a proper landing spot, and it can't because it's got a surprise in that the Bennu surface is too rugged. The other surprise is that Bennu is being affected by the Yarkovsky effect and is tumbling on its axis and is sort of wobbling. It's not steady because of the heat. The sun's heat it's acting like an impactor on the celestial rock on the asteroid, causing it to sway from its trajectory, and that's not good news either. The most important thing is for them to have some kind of a method to protect Earth from such events. They do have an asteroid protection drill every 2 years. They had one last year. They failed it. They failed it up to now. And will have one again next year in April of next year, I think in Switzerland this time. And hopefully they'll be able to pass it. Usually they try and send, in their tabletop drills, they try and send some type of a rocket up and blast it out of the sky with nukes or something. And they don't really have a success with that for some very odd reason. Hopefully they will. I don't know what else they have at their disposal to get rid of these bodies. This is by Express UK, Tom Fish. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.